Hello, folks. Well, it's April 8th, 2020. We're still in lockdown mode here in my state, and I'm still looking for projects to do. So, a few days ago, I came across this 1996 vintage Estes rocket, and before I pulled it out of the package, I said, geez, this should give me a couple 3 days of entertainment. When I was a kid in the 60s, a rocket like this would take me, better part of a week, with the balsa wood and sanding and making all the glue ups and so on to get the model into paintable condition. And then, of course, painting and putting the old decals you soaked in the warm water and then slid off onto the surface and all that stuff. So then I decided to actually do it, and I opened the thing up, and it's all plastic. The cardboard tubes are pre-painted. They got, pressure-sensitive decals. It's got some kind of holographic tube on it and a plastic nose cone. With fast-setting glue, you could probably have this thing done in an hour. But I chose to use some clear Gorilla Glue, which takes, it takes hours to harden. So anyway, there went that 2 days of possible diversion. So what do? Well, I pulled my granddad's, I think this is a 1940s era Schrade automatic knife. It actually had celluloid scales, and they're all shrunk, and they shrunk in from the edges, and the biggest problem that I found with this thing was the blade lock had a problem. So you can see there's two slots cut around this pivot hole. The slot to the left was the troublesome one, and I hacked and whacked a little weld on it. It chipped off. I don't know if I can get this thing to focus in, but it's a little square cutout that a locking device snaps into, and the locking device is basically just a little part like this. And if you look really closely, you can see that corner's kind of worn off a little bit. So after that thing chipped out, the blade would not lock open, and it became a kind of a dangerous thing because it might close on your fingers, and this thing was pretty damn sharp. So I took it's still sharp, but I took a stone and kind of dulled it up because I'm going to be handling it a lot. So anyway, I did a little, what I call a hack and whack weld job with some, I don't know if this camera will focus in here. I guess it doesn't really want to. But anyway, I had to weld that up with a little flux core MIG welder. When you do that with high carbon steel, you get it very hot very quickly, and that carbon can sometimes come out and crystallize. It actually changes the structure of the steel, and it can get very, very hard. And sure enough, this one did. So I had to actually use some diamond files to get this thing cut out, and the dreaded Dremel tool. So I think I've got that pretty much fixed. Now comes the more challenging part, and that's to make some scales for this thing, some new scales. So I pulled out a piece of my old Eastern rock maple. I thought that would be nice. It has fairly nice grain in it. So I cut a piece off of a big block that I had and flattened one side. Yeah, well, I don't know how I'm going to show you guys this, but I'll try and do it kind of in installments, and we'll see how it goes from there, and who knows how long this will take. So again, I'm approaching 5 minutes here. I hope you guys have all recovered from the last video, and kind of good to watch before you go to sleep, because it kind of works my melatonin and gets you right off to bed. Okay, thanks very much.